Hello, and welcome to another edition of Grammy's Protein Kitchen. I've been on a health journey since 2024 and have been able to lose about 70 pounds with the help of a GLP-1 medication. Hi, welcome back. I renewed the book, The Library. I'm really liking this book. Um, when my daughter looked at it a little bit, she thought the recipe for the lemon loaf, and am I finding it quickly? No. She thought the lemon loaf recipe looked good. I have 78. There we go. That recipe there. And we have a family cookout, which is now going to wind up being inside because the weather's not going to be good tomorrow. But we have a cookout tomorrow. And I figured I would make this as a dessert. Um, it's in the bread and muffin section of this. And like before, I made a photocopy of it so I don't mess up a library book because I don't want to do that. And I have all the ingredients sitting here. I preheated my oven. So now I can mix things up. I really only pre-measured the yogurt. It's 3/4 of a cup. It's at 180 grams. I measured it on my little scale. So I have 180 grams there. And to that, I'm going to add 3 eggs. So I have my eggs here. And I'm going to add 3 eggs. And we'll get those in there. Just set that there. Let me rinse the eggs off my fingers. Now, it says to use a 1/2 cup of granulated sweetener. I'm using sugar. So my calorie count is going to be a little different than if I'd have used artificial sweetener. But I figured this is what I have. So this is what I'm using. So I need to add a 1/2 cup of the sweetener. And my container's getting pretty low. Let me grab a little scoop and okay. There's my 1/2 cup of sweetener. Let me just move that out of the way. Now, I'm also supposed to add lemon zest from 1 lemon, and I zested that beforehand. So here's the lemon zest. I scraped my yogurt into my bowl with the scraper so my lemon zest is sticking to it. Just set that there. And then I need lemon extract. I need a teaspoon of that. So here's my teaspoon. And there's my lemon extract. And I'm going to move the ingredients over to the other counter so I know I used them. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay. And then I'm supposed to take a whisk and blend. I really like this whisk. It's a twist whisk. But it's nice because it'll lay flat in my drawer. And then I just twist it when I want it to use as a whisk. So let me whisk this together. It smells very lemony, which I guess is good because it's lemon bread. Okay. That looks pretty well whisked together. I'm just going to set it like that down on my plate. Now it says to add the almond flour, protein powder. It said coconut flour or extra almond flour, so I'm going to be using the extra almond flour. Some whey protein powder, baking powder, and salt. So I'm going to be adding that and stirring it all together. So I need 2 cups of almond flour. Let's see if I can get the cup in here. And I did buy another bag of almond flour. Actually, this is my daughter's almond flour for when she makes the macarons. She makes good macarons too. So I bought her a new thing of flour, but I figured I would use hers since it was open. And so there's 1 cup. And okay, there's 2 cups. And because I'm not using the coconut flour, I need another 1/3 of a cup. So there's my other 1/3 of a cup. And there's just a little bit of almond flour left in this bag. But like I said, I did buy her another bag. So she'll be happy to know that she can make some macarons sometime. All right. Then I need a 1/2 cup of whey protein powder. I don't have unflavored whey powder, but I have a creamy vanilla here. I figured that would work well to use in here. So there's my 1/2 cup of the protein powder. Set that there. And I need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So I'm going to add the 2 teaspoons. There's 1. And there's the 2. Okay. And then I need 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I do like these salt shakers. I don't know if Tupperware makes them like this anymore, but I like being able to just pop the lid off of it to measure out how much I need. And then it pops back on. If I want to sprinkle it, I just hit that and close it. I push it back down. So I really do like those. Now I need to stir this until it's combined. I'm going to use the scraper that's got a little bit of yogurt and a little bit of zest on it. So I'm going to just stir this up. I'd already preheated my oven. It needed to be at 350 degrees, so it's ready to go. And stir that in there good. It's getting there. Okay, that looks all incorporated in there. And because it's using the almond flour, this is gluten-free. As long as the other items that you're using are gluten-free. I'm I'm not sure that anything else would have gluten in. So even if you'd used a coconut flour, it's 2 tablespoons of coconut flour or a third of a cup of almond flour. So either way, that would be gluten-free. So if you are gluten-free, you can still make this recipe. I had issues with gluten for a while and couldn't eat it. It felt like I got punched in the stomach if I ate it. So I just didn't eat it. And then one time I was at the gastro doctor and they said if I really wanted to know whether I had celiac, I needed to eat some gluten for, I forget how long I needed to eat it, for 2 weeks or something like that before I had a test done. And I ate some toast, expected to feel pain, and I didn't feel pain. And I'll tell you, eating gluten-free is tricky. I'm glad I can eat gluten again. It said to smooth this out. And that was all before I started on the Manjaro. I know that I've heard some people who've had issues with gluten once they went on a GLP-1 medication had improvement, that they could eat it again. So I'm not sure what that has to do, but that wasn't my case. I was eating gluten then before I started the Manjaro. Okay, so I put this in the oven and I need to bake it for 10 minutes, and then I need to turn the oven temperature down to 325. And then I bake it for another 30 to 35 minutes until the edges are golden brown and the top is firm to the touch. And then I need to let it cool in the pan before I did grease the pan, and I put parchment paper on so I should be able to lift it out easily. It says to do that. And it says if you use a glass container, a glass thing, you need to reduce the temperature by 25 degrees, and you may need to bake it longer to make sure it's cooked through. So I do have a metal loaf pan here. It's a 9x5. So I'm going to put this in the oven. And I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. There we go. And I'll be back and turn it down. And then I'll be back when I take it out of the oven. It says then to cool it, to have it cooled, and then make a drizzle with powdered sweetener and some lemon juice. So then I'll mix that up probably tomorrow morning before we go to our picnic, and I'll drizzle the lemon glaze over it. And I'm not going to taste it for you on camera because I'm going to take it with. But I'll let you know what everybody thinks about it before I go to edit the video. I'll give a little snapshot of it then. So I'm going to clean up, and I'll be back in 10 minutes, and we'll turn the oven temperature down, and then we'll bake it the rest of the way. Okay, it has about 15 seconds yet before I need to turn the temperature down. After I turn it down to 325, I'm going to set the timer for 25 minutes. It says it should take 30 to 35 minutes, but it says to make sure that you don't overcook it because it can dry it out because of it's already up to temperature. Yes, we know it's already up to temperature. Okay, and I'm going to set the timer for 25 minutes, even though it says 30 to 35. It says that when you bake with protein powder, if you over bake it, it can make it dry. So it suggests checking it towards the end of the baking cycle before checking it early to see if it's done earlier than what it says. I'll let you know at what point I think it's ready to come out of the oven. And I'll see you back in about a half an hour ish, and we'll pull it out of the oven and let it cool overnight, and then we'll make the glaze to stick on top tomorrow. Okay, it's been in about 20 minutes because I set the timer for 25 minutes, and there's like 5 minutes left on it. When I did pull it and check it, and I grabbed a toothpick, and it looks like it's coming out clean. So since it tells you not to make sure you don't over bake it, and it's nice and golden on the top, so I think it's done. So, and a lot of times they'll finish cooking in the pan too if it's not quite done. Let me turn that timer off, and I'll let this cool. Hopefully it's really is done. It seems like it's done, and I'm afraid to overcook it because it tells you not to overcook it. So I took it out, and we'll find out tomorrow for sure. But it's all firm to the touch, which is what it said to that. It's and it didn't say anything about the toothpick test, but that's how you do cake. Figured it would be similar with a quick bread type thing. So I'm hoping it is done. So we'll find out tomorrow. All right. Okay, I'm back this morning. Probably should have left the loaf in a little bit longer. The middle sank. So hopefully there's enough of it that we can eat. But I'm going to lift this out and put it on my plate here. And let me just move that over there. Okay, and now I'm going to make the glaze. I have 1/3 of a cup of powdered sugar in this bowl. And the lemon that I used the zest from, I got that juiced out. And I'm going to start with a tablespoon and add it to my powdered sugar. It says 1 to 2 tablespoons. Put the 1 tablespoon in, and then go from there, just putting about a teaspoon in then at a time if you need more. So I'm stirring this in here to make the glaze. And I'm not worried about having extra lemon juice there because I'm going to make a salad shortly, and it's going to need some lemon juice. So I might not have to juice the other lemon that I got. Because yeah, that looks like a good consistency. So the tablespoon was good. And I'm going to drizzle that over the top of my bread here. Okay. And now go with us to the cookout today. Looking at the nutritional information. Now mine's going to have a little bit more calories because I used real sugar and not just a sweetener. But if I'd have followed it exactly how the recipe is written with the artificial sweetener, it had been 151 calories per slice. There's 12 slices in this, so there's 12 servings. 151 calories, 2 grams of fiber, and 10.6 grams of protein. So hopefully we can get some enough out of this that everyone will be able to eat. Pray, like I said, I probably should have left it in a little longer. I was afraid to because it said that if you overbaked it, it would dry out because of the protein powder. So you live and you learn. Um, but I'll let you know how it turned out then when we've all eaten some. And so before I edit the video, I'll make another little clip to let you know how it was. So, all right. Thank you. Hi, I'm sitting down now to edit the video on the lemon yogurt loaf, and I want to just say that it was good. Everybody who had some liked it. We had enough of it. It wasn't real gooey in the middle, but it probably should have been baked a little bit longer, but it was still good. And my one daughter put some butter on it when she ate her piece. Um, Everybody else just ate it plain. But yeah, it was an enjoyable piece of bread. So I'll probably try making it again. Thank you, and remember, please like the video. It helps YouTube push it out to more viewers. And be sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you'll get notified when I publish another video. Thank you.